Hi Sagittarius, welcome to a tarot reading from February 1st through the 7th. It's Raina here. Of course it's 2020. And let's see what is going on for those of us, me included, who is a Sun in Sagittarius. This is a kind of a shortened spread from what I normally do. And, ooh, I like it so far. I can tell you that much. I resonate with it so far. Wow, wow. Okay, interesting. So this is the first week of the month. Okay. The heart of the matter is the Ace of Swords. So this is, I feel, and I'm thinking about my own life specifically, of the idea of if you have been kind of confused as to your direction in life in any way, and this can be like about starting something new and feeling like there are so many sides pulling at you and you can't make a decision, I feel like you're going to gain clarity to be able to do this in the first week of February. And, you know, it's interesting because the astrology cooperates with us because Aquarius is the sign of the sun, and I'm sure there's other stuff happening. I don't have the ephemeris, I can't remember if there's other stuff happening in Aquarius. We did have a new moon here just the other day. And so this is for Sag, this is the third house. Now the interesting factor in this is the fact that Aquarius is an air sign, and this is the element that the swords represent. So all of the air signs are featured with swords. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. And because the sun is in Aquarius, and because it is currently in our third house, I'm talking about Sag's third house, this is another air house. This is Gemini's natural house. So it's the domain of the mind, and this is right up the alley of the Ace of Swords. So really gaining mental clarity is a key, and it can involve a course of studies, for instance, if you've been kind of agonizing. But really, this would be more of a, if I'm looking at it specifically with the astrology, it would be more along the lines of training for something rather than, you know, what your major is going to be. And I think that some kind of university things could be definitely coming to some kind of head in February around the 9th, when there's a full moon in Leo, and Leo is the 9th house for Sag. So that can involve university. So maybe finishing something. Yeah, I have a card, the world can be graduation. But again, you can graduate and still not know which end is up because you're just kind of all over the place. So it's not, this is one of the fallacies, you know, that, oh, now I've figured everything out because I'm graduating. It's like, no, I mean, it could be the beginning of massive confusion, actually. But in general, I think this is a wonderful card. And sometimes I think it also symbolizes victory that comes out of harsh circumstances, that you're able, and I think the harsh circumstances are actually the sense of illusion that the person has been in. In the past position, we have the Hangman. So you may have been feeling like kind of in a state of limbo. I know that I have definitely, I resonate with this card, like just feeling like in a holding pattern, or in a, you know, it was funny too, because I got like almost like the sensation of some kind of, you know, I don't know how many people remember like a telephone booth where you're just kind of like sealed off from the world and life and all of the activities of life. It's like, yeah, like in this little hermetically sealed box or something. That's how I felt going into the new year. And it always, confuses me or irks me when it's like the astrology suggests, oh yeah, this is a great month. You're going to you can launch things, you can do all these things, and yet in your own personal life, it doesn't seem like it's working out that way. And so this is one of the reasons why I say that there's an overemphasis on predictions and an underemphasis on personal growth. And this is how I choose to do readings, is with personal growth in mind. And I do think that the hangman can be an important part of the process, whether we're consciously deciding that we're going to spend some time just in a state of non-action or not, that there's something guiding us that is very intelligent, like our higher self, for instance, and saying, now is the time to lay low. I know that everybody's telling you to take action, but you can see, I'm just thinking like the higher self kind of saying, no, it's not time to take action because you don't feel compelled to do so. And that will never be a good time to take action. When you feel sluggish or otherwise resistant, sometimes we push ourselves. That's not the same thing, though. I'm talking about, true resistance or just inertia. That is going to make it hard. You're going to force the matter. The hangman may have also been that some Sagittarius had decided that they were going to stop trying to control a situation and just let go and let God. And in doing so, they were able to gain space around something. And so if you have been dealing with, for instance, a personal matter, like a relationship issue that you've been debating about, should I stay with this person? Should I go? I'm not sure because it's not all bad and stuff like that. By letting go of the need to control that person, which is a codependent trait, it makes it so much easier to be able to spend more time taking care of your own needs in terms of what do I need I was going to say, what do I need to take care of myself at this time? And an example is if you're married to somebody and they have a drinking problem and you have tried to control their drinking, you have tried to maybe even go to meetings for spouses of alcoholics, and still that person has not stopped drinking, and that didn't even help. Even though you learned how to cope with it, you don't want to live with it. And so you say, you know what, I'm going to stop trying to fix this. I'm just going to live my life and I'm going to see what comes up for me. And that can lead to the clarity, because anytime that you're pushing back on something, there could definitely be resistance embedded in there, and it makes it harder for you to actually accomplish something of value. You may be just much more pushing back than really allowing things to flow naturally. And, I'm sure there are some people that say, oh, but if I let it just go the way it is, this person is not going to get better, and they could very well get worse. And it's like, yeah, that's absolutely true. But you didn't cause their drinking and you can't stop it. That's really one of those mantras that they tell you. I don't know if that's AA, but they tell you things like that so that you don't feel responsible and therefore guilty, and that you can just do what you need to do regardless of what they're doing. So it's like their choices are not really, they're like immaterial to what you need to do. overall. The energy surrounding you is the Emperor. Now this can be a father who you can turn to, or even somebody who has crossed over, a father or father figure who is encouraging you, helping you from the other side. This could be that you are learning that this is who you are becoming, more like the Emperor, where you have much more control over your life, including, what you think is possible for you, and in relationships that you are not as easily manipulated or otherwise moved to do things because somebody else wants to get away with what they're doing. That you're going to, I really do think when I picked that card, I thought, this is us, Sag, that we are the Emperor. Now, the Emperor is the number 4 card of the Major Arcana. I mean, the Fool, it's actually the 5th card if you count the Fool, but numbered card. It's the 4th numbered card. And it's there for a reason, because it represents structure. This is a card that can be of authority figures, but what about you as your own authority? Instead of just going with the established authority, it's like you kind of stepping into your own authority and being able to feel good about your choices and feel that you are doing things that are bringing you closer to more stability, foundations, and self-control in life. And this can help you in so many ways to manifest your dreams. What's coming in are the advice is the 6 of Swords. So this can be a card of leaving, physical, what do you call it? Like, it could be actually relocation for some people. If this is your father in this world, you may be leaving either his house, and maybe this is something that you have come to realize that this person has, in some cases, kept you down. Even though the Emperor is in the upright position, they may have way too much control, and you may, if you're like an adult already and you didn't see it, you say, I need to put some space between me and this person. Or a partner who is very controlling and doesn't want to, respect your point of view. That too can be a reason to leave. It's really about choosing peace in your life and not the disharmony that comes from a relationship that is not mutual, is not respectful, and things of that nature. Did I say that twice? I don't know. And the outcome is the World card. So this is like an ending, or, it's a chapter ending. Like I said, if you are somebody who is enrolled in college, you may be graduating. Or you're finishing a certain, maybe you're finishing your Gen Ed courses, and now you can just focus on your major. Perhaps you've ended a major, but this is the card of graduation, so it could be the end of a cycle. And so we have 2 cards here, the 6 of Swords and the World card, that could point to endings and relocation. And I think if you're doing it, it's because you realize that where you live or who you've been living with has really contributed to negative influences, and you don't want those in your life anymore. And maybe in the past you just kind of didn't see it. You just didn't see how it had gotten, and now you do, and it feels like, wow, like a revelation of sorts. So that's what I have for you, Sag. I hope that you enjoyed this. If you'd like a personal reading, The link to my website is below. Take care. Bye.